Welcome to another Math Connect tutorial. In this lesson, you'll be learning how to find the equation of a straight line. The requirements for this lesson are that you know how to calculate the gradient of a line. So let's take a look at this example right here. We've got a graph of a straight line, and the line intersects the y-axis at 4 and intersects the x-axis at 2, and you've been asked to calculate the equation of that line. So how do we do this? The first step is to recall the general equation of a straight line. And as you already know, the general equation of a straight line is y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the gradient of the line and b is the y-intercept. So y-intercept. That is where the line crosses the y-axis. So there's a couple of things that we need to find. The first and easiest thing to find is the y-intercept. So let's take a look at the graph and see where the line crosses the y-axis. And as you can see, it crosses the y-axis at the point 0, 4. So it crosses the y-axis at y equals 4. So we know b, so let's write that down. We know b is equal to 4. Next, we need to find the gradient of the line. And the gradient is represented by the letter m. And we know that the gradient m is equal to rise over run. The rise is how high it is, and the run is how long it is. So let's find these numbers. We know the rise is 4, and we know the run is 2, and we know that because the slope is angled towards the right, it's going to be a positive gradient. So m is equal to 4 on 2, therefore m is equal to 2. So now we have everything that we need. All we've got to do is plug it into our y equals mx plus b formula. So let's do that. So we know y is equal to m, we know is 2. So there's an x there, plus b, which we know is 4. And now we have your answer. So the equation of that line there is y is equal to 2x plus 4. Now let's try another example. So in this example, we have a similar graph, obviously with different numbers, and with the line facing in the opposite direction to that in the first example. The calculation is exactly the same. So let's start by writing down the general formula for a straight line, and that is y is equal to mx plus b. And we know we need to find b, which is the y-intercept. And we know we need to find m, which is the gradient. So let's do that. We know b is the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. And as you can see, it crosses the y-axis at the point 1. So we know b equals 1, so let's write that down. B equals 1. So now let's find the gradient m. We know m is rise over run. So we know that it is 1 unit high and 2 units long. So let's write that down. The rise is 1 unit high over, the run is 2 units long, 2. So let's write that down. Now let's determine whether the gradient is a positive or a negative gradient. Now, as you can see, The line leans towards the left, so therefore it's a negative gradient. So let's write that down, negative. So the gradient is negative 1/2. Now we have everything to put into our general equation of a straight line. So let's write that down. Y is equal to m, and m we know is minus 1/2, so that's minus 1/2 x plus, and b we know is 1, so let's write that down, 1, and that's your equation. So the equation of this line is y is equal to negative 1/2 x plus 1. Let's try one more example. So let's see if we can find the equation of this line. Again, always write down the general equation of a straight line. So you know that it's y is equal to mx plus b. The first step now is to find what b is. And as you know, b is that's right, y-intercept. So where does a line cross the y-axis? It crosses the y-axis at -1. So let's write that down. B is equal to -1. The next step is to find the gradient. So the gradient, you know, is rise over run. And how high is this? It is 1 unit. How long is this? It is 3 units. Now we need to see whether the gradient is positive or negative. And we know that the line is pointing to the right. So therefore the gradient must be positive. So m is equal to positive 1/3. So now that we have everything that we need, let's put it all into our general equation of a straight line. So we know y is equal to m, which we know is 1/3. So that's 1/3 x plus b, and we know b is -1, so it will be -1. And there it is. That's the equation of this line. Y is equal to 1/3 x minus 1. So there you have it, a quick tutorial on how to calculate the equation of a straight line. As always, if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please support the channel by subscribing and spreading the word.